proud of that performance all the way around, and on top of it, to score 11 runs. It's hard to believe. It's really cool. He's looking down on this, and that's for you. Those 11, it was just, he would have been proud of this. This was his type of game. It starts with the guy on the mound, and Leiter was good. Like, we've seen that. We've seen it in the outings in the preseason. To see it with another team, was clearly good, and you probably visualize. You can imagine how many nights he sat there and thought through what his first start would look like at Florida State, and you're probably not thinking it's with 7. I think they had 7 left-handed hitters in the starting lineup, so it's a little different than you probably had visualized coming into this, and he navigated it well. I think he had all 4 of his pitches in play. His breaking ball started to drop that in. You could tell they were trying to get to that fastball, and Micah did a nice job. They used the slower breaking ball. He used the slider. Don't know how many changeups he threw, but he threw a few. It was in. You could tell the passion for every pitch he throws. You could feel it. Proud of Dorsey. We've seen that. I think his stuff actually ticked up a little bit, probably from what I've seen, which is nice. Thought his slider was the best I've seen it. I know the 0-2 pitch, it looked like that pitch was up and good. We wanted to get the young guys, the young guns. We're trying to get them in there. And Rowan, you can see it. Like there's good presence and life and energy, and the breaking ball is good. And Saucer, with all the lefties, that's a different matchup for him, but he actually got to face a couple righties, and he was probably not in his lane as well as you would like with his delivery, but still clearly functional. That was great. The offensive stuff, I know it was a 3-0 game, and it felt like we were taking some really good swings and good at-bats, and there wasn't much to show for it early in the game. But when you pitch like that, and there wasn't a lot of defense to be played, but we did make some plays in right field, I think a couple, and fine. So Warchant too, I don't know that you can hit balls much harder than he did with nothing to show for it. Just proud of the guys, from top to bottom, first pitch to last. I'm proud of the way we played, and you hope that all the work that goes into getting to this point, you hope it looks like you have thought it could look, and clearly it did today.
You talk a lot about starters being their own relievers, and Cam kind of got in that jam in the fourth and bounced back in 3 straight days. Just how good was that to see with him being out there for the first time?
I think walk, base hit, walking first and second, nobody out. Jackson West, a really key block. That was a key defensive moment to contain that breaking ball, to hold it at first and second. And then he dug deep and executed pitches and got himself out of it. You have to relieve yourself as a starter if you're going to extend and get into the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th inning of these games. And he did that in the 4th. I think it was the 4th inning. He did that. It was really impressive. Obviously, the pitch count, we're cautious. He wasn't ever truly laboring through long innings, but there's some intensity there and the energy that he expends on just every pitch. We thought we had reached that, and it was fun. He's into every pitch, and you saw it tonight.
You've talked a lot about how many newcomers on this team. I think 26 of them. To see so many of them, make the most of their first. 4 guys on the mound were all new. 2 guys homer. I think almost all the new guys feels like had hits. So to see them all have strong first games, how encouraging is that?
It's great, and to have a game where you can. There's a lot of guys that are deserving of playing, a lot. There's guys that didn't play today that are well deserving of being on that field. It was nice to see it. I don't know that I've seen. Was it back-to-back home runs, first career at bat? I don't know that I've ever seen it, but Williams and Fisher, and we've seen them do that. And I was trying to find ways to get these guys engaged in the game. And we're going to play earlier tomorrow, and it was late, and it was chilly, and it was getting damp. And there were a lot of reasons, but the number one reason was to get these guys that deserve to be playing in there. And I hope we get more chances to do that.
You know what Tibbs is capable of after last year, but for him to capitalize on that moment after kind of having some missed opportunities early in the game for the offense, just how big was that to set the tone for kind of the year for the offense?
It was a massive moment. We needed that game to be blown open a little bit because baseball's crazy. we were pitching well and our at bats were good, but that game could have been 3-3, and you feel like, wow, we've swung the bats well, we pitched well, but they were right there in the game and had an opportunity, to tie the game if something doesn't go well in that inning when they have first and second. So that was a big moment. He was so upset at himself on the little soft line drive that he hit. Might have been the inning before, the at bat before. And he's a gamer. Like, he cherishes his at bats and knows what he's trying to do and thinks through it, and he delivers. That was clearly a huge moment just to give us some breathing.
You mentioned Dorsey ticking up. I think he was up to 96. Is that kind of what you expected with him in the bullpen and getting swing and miss in the fastball?
I hadn't seen that kind of velocity. Like, you see the life on it. I just hadn't seen that pure velocity. But it clearly, I didn't look at every velocity, but you could tell it was good, and the slider was good. I don't know that he used his curveball today, but that was sure nice to see it. And again, when you see, like, I thought Leiter was what we had seen, maybe a tick up, maybe on the breaking ball, and Dorsey to tick it up a little bit in a competitive setting that's what you want. Not always what you see, but it's what you want, and those guys did it.
Coach, going back to Max Williams' first at bat coming from Alabama, and that ball he hit was a very hard home run. What kind of power and bat speed does he bring to this team?
It's very strong, and he's balanced in there, and it's just a direct, strong path. Very flat. That ball, I would like it. We'll see the exit velocities on some of these things
It
later.
sounded pretty low.
Yeah, that was probably 110, 12 off the bat, and he pured that. To hit it to dead center like that was on basically a line. He's got it, and we see him do that to left center, and some of the balls he hits to right field are impressive. So it was nice to get him in there. He's a really good outfielder, really quietly good in the outfield, any outfield position. So that's one of the guys I'm talking about. There's guys that deserve to play that may not have started this game, but entered the game, and even some that didn't get in there tonight. They're very talented kids.
I feel like you've talked about, and we've seen Marco's power and how much he brings from that, especially in the DH spot. We're going to be 3 for 3 tonight. I think they were all 3 singles. I mean, how impressed are you with how well-rounded a hitter he is, not just the power he brings?
Yeah, it's a line drive to all fields swing. And it's good, and it's big. Like, you see the bat through the zone, the intent, the bat speed, the finish, the kind of the presence in the box, and all the things he's got going on. It's noticeable. Like, it stands out. But he still controls the at bat and puts balls in play at a good clip. Like, the free swinging, the aggression is great. You still have to be able to manage putting good pitches in play against tough arms, and we've seen him do that against us, and he kind of got a glimpse of it today.
Anything else?